All right, before you are done with the DLD assignment for today, or if you missed class on White Day, I would like for you to make sure that you have your timeline filled in. Up here, if you want to pause it, if you missed Act 1 through 2 when we reviewed the timeline, there's Act 1. You can see it continues into Act 2. So you could pause there, get those filled in. Act 2 finishes up right here, and that is where we stopped filling in the timeline in class. Here begins Act 3, Monday, late afternoon, and we should have hopefully talked about this in class. If we haven't yet, then you can just review this timeline, and this should be fine for the timeline quiz that you will take as part of the DLD. After the wedding, in the streets, Benvolio and Mercutio are walking, and they meet up with Tybalt. Tybalt is searching for Romeo, and Romeo doesn't really want to fight him, and just within all these things go wrong, and Mercutio is killed by Tybalt. And just a reminder, Benvolio is Romeo's cousin, Mercutio is Romeo's best friend, and Tybalt is Juliet's cousin, so he's a Capulet. Tybalt runs away from the fight because he knows that he's done something wrong when he's killed Mercutio, and so Romeo searches for him throughout the day, and then in a couple hours he finds him. The two of them get into a fight, and then Romeo kills Tybalt. And so this was an act of revenge, which then causes Romeo to run away. And later that evening, the prince comes and he sees Mercutio dead, who is his kinsman or who is his family member. He sees Tybalt dead, and he knows he needs to punish Romeo, even though Romeo was just really getting back at Tybalt. And so instead of sentencing him to death, he banishes him and says he just can never live in Verona again. Also going on pretty much at that same time, Juliet's father has decided that because Tybalt has died, and this is so sad for the family, that it would be nice for them to host a wedding. And so he decides that Juliet will marry Paris in just a matter of a few days. And then to end Act 3, and this is the last time that Romeo and Juliet see each other alive, we have kind of Monday ends and Tuesday in the middle of the night, it's like early morning time. Romeo and Juliet are able to consecrate their marriage, so they are able to sleep together and make it official. And then Romeo says goodbye to Juliet, and he leaves for a place called Mantua, which is a kind of a neighboring town, so it's not too far away from Verona. And then they say their goodbyes. So it's a sad scene, and that kind of ends the play. You don't think that it's going to go where it ends up going. You think that they'll see each other again. They think that they'll see each other again somehow. And so you're left at the end of Act 3 with a lot of death and then some sadness between these two as they try to figure things out. But again, hopeful that they will figure it out. Make sure that you have these notes written down, or that you've at least listened and reviewed to this. Once you are done, you are ready to take the timeline quiz, and then you'll be done with the DLD for today.